Okay, good morning. Welcome to our presentation on automotive engineering at Trowbridge College. I hope you can all hear me okay. Just a few things before we start. There's a message function on here, so if you have any questions, or if you can't hear me, or if my audio is not working, please let me know. But it should all be working fine. First thing I'm going to do is show you a quick video that sort of shows the sort of things we do within the motor vehicle workshop. So give me 1 second, I'll just start playing that for you now. Hello, welcome to Wiltshire College Motor Vehicle. Today I'm going to show you around the equipment, the environment you'll be learning in, and explain to you some of the things you'll be doing and how you'll be doing them. On all of our campuses, we have all the tools you would find in an operational motor vehicle setting. We have an excellent range of vehicles for students to learn on. We also deliver many apprenticeships for light vehicle and for heavy goods vehicles. We offer full-time entry-level courses up to a level 3 dependent on your GCSE grades. We have an excellent progression route and many of our students progress through the full-time courses and end up on apprenticeships. At Wiltshire College, we pride ourselves on delivering fantastic destinations for our students. With all our courses available and all the wonderful resources we have here, we can recreate what it's like in a garage environment and set the students up to become apprentices or move on to other sorts of motor-related trades. We have listened to local employers and our curriculum shows this. Students will learn all the necessary skills regardless of the level they are on, such as tyre fitting, brakes, cooling systems and much, much more. There is a perfect mix of theory and practical on all of our motor vehicle courses, and the theory lessons are normally delivered in our PC-equipped classrooms. So if you have any questions or concerns regarding the courses we can offer here, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Okay then, I'm just going to talk through a few points, and if you have any questions at all, please start putting them into the question box and I'll answer them at the end. I've also, in the question boxes, the chat boxes, I've put my phone number and my email address at the top of the chats function there, so if you need to speak to me at all, please just give me a ring whenever. Right, so first of all, welcome to Motor Vehicle at Trowbridge. I'm going to move to the next slide. So what will your time at the Wiltshire College involve? So our full-time courses are normally 3 days a week. We have a lot of practical, a lot of theory. It's about a 50-50 split. There are formal practical assessments, which are done throughout the year. Our awarding body is the IMI, the Institute of Motor Industry. We offer very many different courses. There are exams on the entry level and level 1, only 1 exam. On the level 2 full-time, there are 7 exams. If you haven't got your maths and English to a level 4, then you will be doing that at the college as well as part of the program. We're also trying to find you work experience during the years when you're there. Normally about 30 hours worth of work experience. I mean, if you can find it yourself, it's much better, but we do have work experience coordinators to help you with that. And also, it's an opportunity to try and get an apprenticeship. I mean, that's our main aim, is to get you into work, get you working, get you earning, and get you qualified. So yeah, we do have a lot of employer engagement to try and get you jobs and apprenticeships. So the courses available at the moment, we have an IMI entry level 3. If you pass that, which most of our students do, well, to be fair, all of our students do, we've got a very good success rate in that. We go straight on to level 1. From level 1, you can go on to either an apprenticeship or a level 2 diploma, or a level 2 auto electrical. Now, some of our students, they go entry 3, level 1, level 2 diploma, then they do auto electrical, and hopefully by then we'll have them doing apprenticeships. And the route from apprenticeships can go on to, we do 2 apprenticeships, or 3 rather. We do an HGV, high heavy goods vehicles. We do a level 3 light vehicle. We also do an auto care apprenticeship, and that's a level 2 apprenticeship. The grades required. So the grades required for entry 3 would be 2s in English and maths, Level 1 is 3s, and level 2 is 4s. We very rarely put you straight onto level 2. We normally do level 1 first. And it's a good base to learn your hand skill and move on to the level 2. So the courses, what do they cover? We always start off with health and safety. Then move on to subjects like tools and equipment, where we'll be learning to use engineering techniques, and you'll be making tools and making test lights and soldering and hacksawing and pillar drills. So you use you do a bit of fabrication. You'll learn the basic car maintenance skills. You'll do things like oil changes. You'll change exhaust, discs and pads, gearboxes, brakes, suspension, tires. We've got tire machines there, so it's a very important skill to use. We do everything from bleeding brakes to replacing rear brake shoes. So there's a big different things to do on there. So what do you need to bring for this course? You need to bring motivation and commitment. All we need you to do is turn up and put a good effort in, and we'll get you through this course. You'll be fine. That's all we ask. It's a lot of effort, and you'll be absolutely fine. It's only 3 days a week. It's quite intense, but we do a lot of practical. We tend to get our students doing a lot of practical to start off with, a lot of different things, just in case they ever did manage to get an apprenticeship, and it's a good base to start from. So things are a little bit different this year with COVID. So we do have every student's got to wear PPE, which is your overalls and boots. We also hand out gloves now, which you take them and wash yourself. That's to make sure we don't have any contamination through the tools. Every student gets their own toolbox to work with, so there's no cross-contamination. In the classrooms, we have dividers up, and every student wears a mask. I mean, that's what's happening at the moment. Hopefully, by the time you guys join, it'll be back to normal. Fingers crossed. So yeah, our students are in bubbles at the moment, so there's a lot of social distancing going on. All the motor vehicle tend to be together. And then you'll have construction; they'll be in their own sections. So we try to limit any people getting too close together for too long. So the career pathways you could do in automotive engineering. So yeah, I mean, as you know, I'm a teacher now, so that's the pathway I took. I've also worked in an engineering factory, and that because of the trade I was doing in mechanics, that gave me a good stand-in to go and do that. But you can do customer service, valeting, fast fit technicians, motorsport. You can go to higher education. Once you got that level 3, that's equivalent to A level, so you can go to do a degree if you wished. You can become a foreman, a service manager, body sprayer. These are all pathways to get you into education. So there's quite a wide range you can go on to. So it's a very short presentation, but what I really want to do is know if you've got any questions for me. So if you've got some questions, can you start typing them into the chat box there? If you haven't, and I've explained everything, no problem at all. But I'll be available now for the next half hour or so. And I've also put my phone number and email address on this box on the right-hand side. So please feel free to ask me any questions whenever you're ready. You know, if you don't feel comfortable typing anything into the chat, then you can just give me a ring or email. If you get grades 3, do you come in on level 1 or do you have to do level 3? No, sorry. So if you get grades 3 of GCSEs, that would get you onto the level 1 course, which is where we want people to start anyway. And you would come straight onto that level 1 course. And then when you complete that level 1 course, hopefully you go into level 2, or by then you may have got an apprenticeship, which is our main aim. Do we do welding? We don't do the welding in the course. It's not part of the course itself, but we do have a welder. And now and again, we do some experimenting with a MIG welding. So it's not part of the course, but we do add it as a personal choice in our team, just to give students a little bit of a start in how welding works. I know they do a welding course in Lackham in the evenings. Okay, so the levels go entry 3, level 1, then level 2. So yeah, if you end up with grade 2s, then you would come in on the entry level. And then when you completed that entry level, you go to level 1. When you completed that, you go to level 2. So as long as you pass those levels, you automatically go on to the next course. As long as your attendance and behavior is fine, it's no problem at all. And it happens all the time. You know, we have students who come in on entry. And sometimes if they've had previous experience working on their parents' cars or helping out in garages, we move them up to level 1 automatically, regardless of grades. But the entry 3 course is a very good course. You do lots and lots of practical in it. Lots and lots of practical. Good question. So if you've renovated a Mini, well, what would probably happen is you'd probably come on to entry, and then when you started to shine by knowing everything what we were doing, the entry 3 teacher would recommend you get moved to level 1. So we would start you off on entry just to see what you could do. But no, I mean, if you've renovated a Mini and all your tool skills and you have some knowledge of basic motor vehicle to start with, then yeah, we probably would put you onto level 1, even if you did get grade 2, as long as you could prove to us in the first few weeks how good you were. Does that make sense to you, Jack? Is that right? I suppose I better say, actually, so obviously with this COVID problem we got now, some lessons are delivered online, very few, because we know it's a practical course we're doing and we want our students to be there. But at the moment, I'm doing one online lesson for level 1 and one online lesson for level 2, and everything else is face-to-face. So yeah, no, you need to, so just to be aware of that. It's nice to have, if you've got a laptop at home, it's brilliant. What age do you have to be to do the welding at Lackham? Well, I'm pretty sure it's 16 plus. So, but I don't think the course, the problem with the welding course is students pay for that course as an extra. I don't think it comes as a course that you can, that is funded basically. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, you'd have to check with the Lackham College, to be fair, but I'm pretty sure I have got one level 2 student who's doing it in the evening, as well as his, okay, that'll sort that out. Yeah, so what he does, he comes in, he does my level 2 course, and then he'll go off on I think it's a Tuesday evening to do the welding course. He thoroughly enjoys it. There's a bit of traveling though. But yeah, that's fine. Welding's a good skill to have. Very good skill. Like I say, if anybody has any questions, you don't want to put it into the chat now, I'll be available most of the day. You can phone me on it. You can phone me on my phone, or you can email me. Hopefully you can see the emails at the top of the chats there. Yes, yeah. So if you go to Chippenham or Trowbridge, the courses are the same. Yeah, the courses are the same. The STEAM IMI courses. Do we cover spraying? We don't do body work, I'm afraid. No, we don't do body work. We do valeting. We do a valeting unit in level 1, where you'll be valeting cars. We do everything mechanical, but we don't have a spray outfit, I'm afraid. An outline for each level. I can give you a rough outline if that's okay. So entry is quite a low level. You'll be doing, so if I tell you what happens in the Trowbridge workshop, now bear in mind, Chippenham workshop may differ slightly, the way the teachers deliver it, but in Trowbridge, what we do, we have students doing tires, brakes, struts, suspension struts, exhausts, batteries, things like this, sort of low level in the entry. Then level 1, you'd start taking radiators out, thermostats, testing them. You'll be doing brake bleeding, removing calipers, removing brake shoes, etc. And then in level 2, you start doing a bit of diagnostics. We will be doing McPherson struts, spring removal, radiators again, head gaskets, cam belts, timing belts. We have engine strip downs. So that's the practical side of things. The theory, it takes a bit of a while to explain to you what we do in theory, but for everything theory-wise is done online. Okay, so there's no writing as such anymore. It's all done online, which students tend to prefer. And all our computer rooms in the Trowbridge are all kitted out with PCs. Not so much in Chippenham, but in Trowbridge, they're all kitted out with PCs. So we do something called an e-portfolio, which is a really good online system, and you can operate it from your phone if you had to. Where you would go into you would do a job such as this and pads, and we would assess you doing the job. So you probably do the same job 2 or 3 times. And when we're happy with you doing it, and we feel you're competent in the thing that you've done, we'd ask you to write it up step by step what you've done. Then we'd assess your write up, assess your practical job, and pass it on e-portfolio, and then move on to the next job. So there's a bit of written, sort of one-word answers for entry in level 1. Then level 2 gets a bit more complicated. There's 7 exams in level 2, all online, and there's quite a bit more writing, but it's all online. As like I said, it's all typing. How much will it cost for everything, like overalls and boots? Overalls and boots aren't very expensive. You can pick boots up for 15, 20 quid. Overalls about the same, I suppose. So it's not big money. Does day 4 cover resits for maths and English? We do resits for maths and English, yes. So, but it's all done within the 3 days. So, for example, you could have on a Monday, you might have workshop with me, then theory with me, then early afternoon. If you haven't got English or maths on grade 4, you'll do English, and then you may have tutorial after that. Then on the Tuesday, you may have a day off. Then on the Wednesday, you may be back in and do the same thing again, practical, theory, and then maths and tutorial, and so on. So those 3 days, the 3 days you're in, that's your program. There's not a 4th and a 5th day. Everything is put into those 3 days. If you've done your level 4 English and level 4 maths, you will have time off. So you may come in for the morning and you may leave for the afternoon. Or we may have a lesson in the morning and a lesson early afternoon, then you've got a break in the middle. And hopefully by then the COVID would have stopped, so you can go and play pool in our function room or table tennis. Hope that answers your question. Any more questions? I'm very happy to stay here all day. No matter how silly you may think they are, or if you're not sure of anything, please do ask. I don't want you worrying about anything. The most important thing we want you to do when you come onto our course is we don't care if you get things wrong. We don't care if you make mistakes. This is the place to make a mistake, is at Trowbridge College. If you give me the wrong answer, I'm happy you've given me an answer. I don't care about anything else. I just want you to do your best, to make an effort, and throw answers at me left, right, and centre. I don't mind if they're wrong. You'll never get told off for giving me an answer. Or the days off the same every week to allow for work experience or get a part-time job. So yeah, so once you find out what your timetable is, that timetable will stay like that. The days of the week you're in will stay the same. So yeah, you could get a part-time job. And when it comes to work experience, we give you the time off to do work experience. That's part of your course. So if you said to me you've got a job restoring minis somewhere in a garage for a week, we'll give you the time off for that. That's no problem at all. That's what we want you to do. Work experience is very, very important, and also working is very important. We want all our students to be well-rounded adults eventually. So we're very happy for you to get to work. Probably, well, we've got an engineering room, so we do strip engines down. We get engines through all the time. What normally happens is we'll have a car donated. We may have a car donated. I mean, I donated my own car the other week, a Vauxhall Astra. We have a car donated. The students will work on that car for a few months, and obviously after a while, those brakes will be taken off and on so many times, the bolts will start to shear off. We may have to tap a few and rethread a few. And then when it gets to such a stage that it's not really safe to work on anymore. It's not good. We take the engine out of that car and we put it onto a stand, and it goes into our engineering room, and then we start stripping those engines down, learning about engine components, crankshafts, camshafts, how the 4-stroke cycle works. So we got our engineering room for that, and that's also where we do our make our tools, our test lights, trim tools, and that sort of stuff. So we make tools on entry and level 1. Level 2, we don't need to make a tool. Good question. Electric cars. So we've noticed that so at the moment on the level 1 course, I'm not too sure about the entry. I've never taught entry, but on the level 1, there is a unit on hybrid technology. It's not that in depth. All of our tutors or all of our teachers have been on a hybrid training course, but I can imagine that very soon there will be a lot more electrics and hybrid technology coming into this unit. What we go through first of all is the basic safety of working on hybrid vehicles or electric vehicles. So we talk about the capacitors and how you got to unplug the unit before you start working on it and wait 20 minutes really to let it power down, the amount of voltage going through it, the color of the wires you got to look at, safety when working on it, like removing the keys and putting them in the office out the way just in case it wants to start up. If the battery drains too low, the engine might start up on a hybrid. So we do the basic hybrid safety, but we don't go too far into electric cars yet. But that will be coming in the future, I'm sure. Good question, though. Thank you. On the level 2 course, we do go through we do a electrical course where we do test window regulators, alternators, starter motors. We'll also do some OBD testing, onboard diagnostics. We've got a snap-on machine. We've also got a few other code readers and what have you. So that's quite a good sort of start. And also, I know in Chippenham this year, they're doing a level 3 full-time course, but I don't know if that's going to be carrying on for next year. But yeah, all I know for sure is we'll have an entry level 1, level 2, and an auto electrical course running. I can tell you what happens about the toolboxes. We have I expect you've seen it on the video. We have about 15 toolboxes, which students will come in and they will write down their name next to the toolbox number they've taken. They'll take that toolbox off to the car they're working on, and then we also have stores with loads of special equipment in as well. Is the heavy goods vehicle split out, of course, at the end? So the heavy goods course, no. So we don't do a full-time heavy goods. To do the heavy goods vehicle apprenticeship, you need to be employed in an HGV setting. We have a lorry in the workshop at the moment where we have 2 apprenticeship groups who come in and they work on that lorry. There's still plenty of room for the cars to be worked on around the outside. Is that what you meant by that, Jack? So yeah, so the HGV is a separate course, but it's an apprenticeship only. It's not a full-time course. Apprenticeships come in 1 day a week, regardless of whether it's autocar apprenticeship, level 3 or HGV. They work 4 days a week and they come into us 1 day a week for the training. And if you want to know how the apprenticeships work, I can tell you very quickly. So apprenticeships, for example, if you were put on the level 2 autocar apprenticeship, you would come into me 1 day a week for 2 years. You'd have a gateway test on the first year to make sure you were competent in certain jobs. For example, the gateway test for the autocar apprenticeship for the first one is very simple. It's disc and pads, alternator, starter motor, wheel alignment, and a tyre. That's the gateway. I mean, we do have to do some tests with the alternator and starter motor, like Amtrol, but it's not a big deal. And then the second gateway is a vertical inspection, and then you have an endpoint at the end where you would do an exam, a 6-hour test working on a vehicle, and a professional discussion. And all of the framework for the apprenticeships these days, it's all very, very similar to that. If that's what you're interested in. I'll just say what I said earlier. If you have got any questions, I've put my number at the top of this chat, so you should be able to see it on there. And also my email address is on there. So if I was you, if you were thinking about asking me questions, probably best to write that down now or take a picture of it so you don't lose it. And I'll be available all day if you need to speak to me. It's no problem. Or if you're happy with everything I told you, you've got no other questions, you're very welcome to leave and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Even though the weather's not great today. I can give you an example of a lesson, a practical lesson I'd done yesterday. We had some students in, so what I've done, I put some faults or some jobs what the customer would like doing in each car. And the customer and the students come in, they chose which car they wanted to work on, not knowing what jobs they were going to do to it until they got to the car. And then, for example, we got a Peugeot Coupe Cabriolet down there, 206cc. There's a bit of a problem opening the roof due to voltage drop. So one student had taken the rear bumper off of that, get the roof working, and then remove a tire and refit it. There was 3 jobs for that vehicle. You have to do that within a certain amount of time. Come back to me. This wasn't an assessment. This is just them learning their hand skills and how to recreate what it's like in a workshop environment. Another one was on a Honda Accord we got, and that was removing an exhaust, refitting it correctly, taking a strut off, and checking a track rod end. And all these different jobs we do all throughout the year just to get you ready for work, really. Good. Yeah, so I do timed assessments. You're right. I do this not as an assessment for you because you've got plenty of time to do a job for an assessment for me. But it's a really good question. So I like to do timed jobs because I feel that recreates what it's like in work. So I do that as a lesson, doing timed jobs, and it keeps the students engaged. So, for example, I would have all the students' names on a board. I would have up there saying, I'd have this and pads. You would have hour and a quarter to remove and refit them and provide me with a report. And I would give them a job card saying that. Or I would just say the customer is complaining of vibration through the brakes. Or I would say grinding from the front, near side front, or something like that. Just to get them thinking about diagnostics and also the time it takes to do it. I mean, we always explain to students about efficiencies and what the garage manager would expect out of them, money-wise or time-wise. So yeah, I do timed jobs, yeah, all the time actually. I think it's a really good way of doing it. Good question. So again, if you can't think of anything to ask now, you're very welcome to give me a call whenever, and we can talk through it. Or if you want to send an email, you're very welcome to. It's a shame we got to do it this way. It's a shame we can't come in and meet in the college like we used to, but I'm sure that'll change hopefully after Christmas. We'll see how it goes. Good question, Riley. Yes, you will be doing tyre changing and balancing. At the moment, I have a little competition with one of my level 1 students, who's a very good tyre fitter, very quick, and he's been trying to beat me all year, and he hasn't managed it yet. But we can do that. Yeah, we got 2 tyre fitting machines, one slightly more expensive than the other. So we got one sort of base model and one quite complicated model. So we got both types, and we got 2 types of balancing machines as well, so we can explore all that. We've got plenty of wheels and tyres to do. We also do tyre repairs, puncture repairs. We work on alloys. We got the function to work on run flats. Yeah, we have everything we need to do tyre changing and balancing. And yes, it is part of your course as well. By the time you finish any one of those courses, whether it's entry level 1 or level 2, you will be good. You'll be a good tire fitter. It's fantastic. If you've done it as work experience, brilliant. It's a good skill to have. I used to run a fast fit centre, a Peugeot Express Fit, and yeah, we changed a lot of tires there. A lot of tires. And people are always looking for good tire fitters. So yeah, in my courses, I make sure we do tires quite a lot. And also we can time ourselves on it to see how fast we can get without damaging tires. So yeah, good question, Riley. I like it. I mean, if you're interested in joining the motor vehicle course, I mean, what I would do, I would apply for it anyway, because if you change your mind and decided to go and do something else or go to a different college or whatever, that's absolutely fine. But if you apply for it and get accepted on paper to start with, then you've put your cards in then. So if you are interested in doing this course, just apply for it. And then if you change your mind later on, you can change your mind. So I would, I would get in there first, really. If you think of any other questions to ask me? I'm afraid I've got to close it down now because the next one will be starting soon. So it's really nice to meet everybody. And I will hopefully see you in the new year. If you need to email me or text me,